Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Comics News Today for the 12th of December, 12/12. I don't know if numbers mean anything, but maybe they do today. Anyway, very happy to have you guys in here. Please do us a favor and check out our links down below, and also hit that share button and let your family and friends know what's going on so we can have as many people in here as possible. Please, please. And of course, also hit that subscribe and like button. Those help us out, I guess. But we are very, very pleased and happy to have you guys in here, and we're definitely going to be covering some interesting news. And of course, do keep in mind that in 2 hours we have the Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition, which we will be doing Tales from the Classroom, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. But it's a nice looking project, so definitely come back and check that out. That should be fun. But other than that, let me come over here and say hello to my panelist. George, how are you today?
I am very angry. You're going to be hearing a lot of clanking of pots and pans as I'm catching up on my chores for the day.
There you go, folks. Angry George is something it's always happy to have. And of course, we're also joined by the Dinale Lama himself. Hello, sir.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking, Chester and George. You angry Canadian, not you, Chester. George,
Yeah, I'm not
you,
angry at all.
yeah.
I'm
But
happy.
I'm happy because I got two packages in the mail. The first package is the giant 7-pounder of Doug TenNapel's Earthworm Jim. And I'm elated of it because Earthworm Jim was a favorite character when I was a kid. I played the video game, I collected the toy, I watched TV show. I was an Earthworm Jim fan for foremost.
And
Looking at the book and comparing to Bigfoot Bill, they're twice the size of those books.
oh, sweet dude. And what
Yeah.
was the second one?
The second one was EBS Cyber Frog from the first campaign, so that fulfills the first campaign.
Oh, sweet.
He had the two ash cans. They were actually ash cans, not a giant floppies, and he did deliver it with all the other stuff. And he did a giant head sketch on the inside cover,
Well, that's
which
cool.
is awesome. Yeah,
So maybe I'll get mine by February.
probably.
All right, sweet.
So,
But that's good to hear. It's good to hear, and good on Doug TenNapel, man. He's come in and he was kind of came in a little bit later into it and kind of a new face, but boy, he's done a great job. He delivered 100% on Bigfoot Bill and Earthworm Jim, above and beyond what it was expected. And you got to keep in mind the money that you're paying for what you're getting from him is the same you're paying for other people, right? But he is delivering absolute product. So awesome, Doug TenNapel, dude. That
yeah,
really makes me happy. You know.
yeah.
Uh,
The first package for Bigfoot Built was 4 pounds. This package with Earthworm Jim was 7 pounds. So you got
wow.
a 3 pound difference in
Yeah.
the mail.
3 pound bonus. I don't know. That could
Yeah.
be taken very badly, and I'm sure Joshua was over there taking it badly right now because that's what he does.
Or
But he is my favorite troll, that is for sure.
yeah.
But the interesting thing I want to start off before we jump in the news. Of course, I'll go say hello to the chat here in a second. But I have to say, good on you, Britain. They're pushing back just like they did with Brexit, saying no to the communist Jeremy Corbyn. Not only has Labour been defeated by Boris Johnson and his party, they have been absolutely trounced. They lost 71 seats, baby. And that is a great thing because one thing we all know right well is Britain has gone complete communist. And they need to be pull
You
it
know,
back from the brink. They need to pull it back,
what
and Boris Johnson is the man for the job.
So, what's the
which is
percentage? What percentage does he control now? The government.
Well over 390 seats, dude. It's like I forgot. I did hear it, but I forget George. But it was very high. They have a major majority, so it's over 75%.
Oh,
And
fantastic!
yeah, no, it's fantastic. The Labor just absolutely got their butt kicked. They're down to 191 seats, I think, is what the number I saw, and that's only going to go down more, I'm sure. in the future because they're just pure on communists. They're hateful, and it's just the typical communist nonsense you see over and over and over again. Understand that this frickin' Corbyn guy goes out and has his rallies, and they literally have Russian communist flags flying around. Literally. Not joking, not figuratively, literally. Pictures of Stalin. This is the bastard that was trying to take over Britain. Of course, they've had a lot of control and influence. Britain is absolutely toxic place, man. Horribly toxic. They need to go back, and we hear a lot of complaint about people saying nationalism is rising. Yeah, damn right it is. Yeah, as if nationalism is something that's always bad, because it's rarely bad actually. But nevertheless, I just wanted to say that in the beginning because I'm very happy because this is I really would be sad to completely lose Britain. Unlike Canada, which is a lost cause. Oh well. Bye, Canada. We should sing a song for Canada, Denali.
Yeah. Don't cry for me, Canada.
Yeah, that one.
You were my only heart.
Anyway, let me come over here and say hello to the chat before we start our news. Let's see here. We got a bunch of people in here. Excellent. Roger Heller is in here, of course. Thank you, Roger. Always happy to see you. And he says some awesome people are here, and I agree, dude. Nick C is in here. Rich Johnson wrote a hit piece on R2 Bear. What? On Art, one of the sweetest dudes ever. Why? Why? It's like go pick on Gary Shipman next, Rich Johnson. Have at it. Booster is in the chat and not in here because he's a lazy bastard. He says, "Why are you guys angry?" I'm not angry at all, Booster. I'm a happy boy. You know I'm a happy boy. George is the angry one. Eric Hawkins says George is always angry. True, but it is his job. March Hare is in here, and I'm sorry, Dark Admiral March Hare. Hi, all. He says, "Well, hello to you." Doug is a beast. Yes, he is. Good on Doug, man. I really appreciate him. Nick says, "I got mine too. EW is great, Earthworm Jim. But don't tell Uncle Ethan I said that." Well, Denali didn't say much about the Cyberfork thing, but Denali, I'm kind of assuming you're satisfied with what you got from Ethan, right?
Uh, I'm more. I'll say this politely. Um, I'm I'm still stars eyes with Doug Naples, Earthworm Jim. I
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even I don't even see Ethan. Ethan looks like a floppy compared to this beast of a book.
Yeah, no, I get
This is
that.
like
I get that.
yeah
But people were really knocking on Ethan Cyberfrog, and I think it was just a little bit of angst toward all the kind of nonsense and stuff that's riled up by
right
Ethan. But I've seen many pages of it, and I think it's probably a pretty solid thing, and people are just a little angry at Ethan, which he brought that on himself, I guess. But
yeah
I don't think it's as bad as people say, and I'll make that judgment
right
when I get it. Let me see here.
right
Nick is saying they're
yeah
saying hello to each other. My Pickles, great name. Labor are winning so far. Actually, no, dude. Labor's got their ass absolutely handed to him, dude. Now, oh no, let me back that up half a second because maybe Pickles is on this more than I am. I was looking at projections, and maybe that's not a smart thing to do. Yeah, you might be right on that, Pickles, but it looked to me that Labor was absolutely getting horribly trounced. That was the complete exit polling was showing them being dropped down to about 191 seats. So a fair point. We'll have to wait till this completely everything voted. So I'll hold that for tomorrow. Yeah, so no, he said he's English, so he knows. Okay, so we should. It's kind of the same thing happened with Donald Trump. Better not make that mistake, huh? So I'll wait until tomorrow to talk about that. But I hope it's
yeah
going that direction because freaking labor sucks, dude. Let's see here. March here says I got my Earthworm Jim in today. Haven't had a chance to look at it. Ooh, dude, you should check it out. I just got the first half. The making of hasn't arrived yet. Okay. Eric says so. Ethan is flaccid and Doug is a rock hard stud. You could put it that way, I guess. Yeah, yeah. But
yeah
Pickles, keep us up to date on it. If anything happens during the chat, I'd like to know, and I will talk about it more tomorrow, I guess. But you are correct. I was looking at projections. That's true.
right
But I just was so excited about it because frickin' labor they're literally communists. I mean, not even they're Stalinists is what they really are. So we don't want that. We do not want that. But anyway, moving on. Let me see here.
yeah. So just to answer the question about the hit piece on Bleeding Cool. They're talking about RT Bear's recent live stream, which he talked about how he got blacklisted from Marvel, and he was using that to promote his current comic book, Chrono Mechanics.
Oh, wow. So
Kind of.
they're paying attention to what art does.
Mhm.
Interesting. That means they've seen me on Pontificators. Uh-oh. Yeah, because I am the demonetizer. You guys know that, right? Uh, oh well. But anyway, moving on here. Our first story of today actually applies directly to today's content because here we have the comedy horror comic Tales from the Classroom, fully funded on Indiegogo, which is awesome. Congratulations to them for that. And we are going to be having them here today on the Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition. So this is a little bit of a preview, and it's also I want to kind of announce that they've funded themselves, which is awesome because if you take a look at this book here, and I will just kind of give you a quick run through it of it, we did a full interview with them here on this channel. But a great looking project, man. Really good art, fun, a lot of passion behind it. You know, just what we want to see, man. And it's interesting too. So I'm really happy for them, and of course we'll be talking about that more in a couple hours. But I saw this up here on the Fanspeak page and on Facebook, of course, and I just wanted to pop it up and give it a little bit of a primer for our drone recorders, man. But looks good. Congratulations to them, and come back and check out more later. So let's move to our first story of today, Denali.
So this is from Variety. The Flash and Matrix get the release dates from Warner Brothers, and the Matrix Fours takes the slot that was previously held by Taika Waititi, whatever his name is, Akira's film, which is a blessing in disguise because nobody should be doing Akira anyways.
Yeah,
It's already been
that's
done.
yeah. You don't want to touch that thing, man. That's yeah. That's a whole conversation unto itself. I would
Yeah,
say, Denali. First thing for me is from reading this headline, and of course we covered the Matrix thing a little bit before. But the first thing that comes to my mind is no. I don't want either one of them.
yeah,
I'm really not interested. The Matrix series is done. I don't need more Matrix. I love Keanu, but I mean, I just don't need more Matrix. And of course, the Flash. I don't really care so much for the Flash that they have. I'm not knocking on Ezra. You know, Ezra Miller is a mascot of our show, and no hate for Ezra at all. I just don't care for his Flash. I don't care for the way it's been written. I mean, to be honest, if you took the boy who's doing the TV show, the first couple of seasons, same boy, but the first couple of seasons, that Flash I would,
hmm
let's see that Flash in the movie. I'd be fine with that. But I don't want this weird, strange Flash that they've created for the movie series. I'm not interested. What do you think, George?
I agree everything you said. The Flash of the TV show is much more exciting, much
Yeah,
more fun,
yeah,
much more on brand to the character.
yep,
It would certainly bring more audience than Ezra. Ezra is just a stupid, boring character in real life.
yeah. Well,
I mean,
he's weird.
he's just
He's a weirdo. But for me, George, it has more to do with simply the way they wrote the character. He's really teeny human. He's all about the lightning and not about the speed. It's just the way they. I don't know. It's the way they presented it. It's not Flash to me.
well, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's the way they wrote the character. I mean, the guy's moving what near the speed of light, and he can't find a family in a pickup truck in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, yeah, that's there you go. But yeah, it's a lot of things, and I just don't think the character was well represented. But Denali, there might be some fans of that Flash, though. There might be.
of course,
Uh,
of
yeah,
course. There's always fans of anything, so
yeah.
um, we're just the fans of Ezra Miller
We are. We
because it's
we we love the Ezra over here. Yeah, he's
it's
one of
always
us.
Miller time. Yeah,
It's always Miller time, baby.
yeah.
But yeah, but no, it has nothing to do with Ezra. I mean, because to be fair, if to we be honest with it, the what he did with the character with what he was given, I thought was fine. Ezra Miller is an absolute weirdo. Of course he is. But when he does his job, he's fine. I mean, he does his job, right? He's a professional, actually. All joking aside, he is very professional. I didn't mind what he did in those movies. I just don't like the character that they gave us, is all. And that
Right.
this friggin' Cats movie is just creepy, dude. Damn.
That's nightmare fuel. Somebody was
It
on
is
cocaine.
freaking nightmare fuel, dude. It is. And
Yeah.
that trailer they came out with, because the first one, everyone was like, just like, mocking it because it was so creepy and odd. And then they came out with a new one to try to fix it, and it was worse.
Too late.
It's creepy, dude. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's too good. Maybe the CG is too good. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know, dude.
No,
It's creepy though, man.
no, it's you can tell it's CG, and then you can tell their actual faces, and it wasn't mesh well. So you have that uncanny valley vibe going through it.
Creepiness, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with that,
Yeah.
man. That just gives me the willies. And keep in mind, I'm an American, so I like the musical. It's kind of like
Mhm.
in our DNA. It's required to be an American. You must like musicals. But of course, for me, I would have to, even if I was interested in it, I'd have to watch it at some later date anyway, because my wife hates musicals, dude. She does not like it. She said, "Why are they singing in the street?" I'm like, "You're right, baby. You're right." Of course, if you're married, she's always right. Remember that, guys. She's always right. I guess there's nothing else really here to cover. It seems like Keanu's on board, which of course is cool. And Akira is something. Man, you got to be real careful when touching that. Look, it's Jar Jar. Hey, Jar Jar, how you doing? He's talking about his monster boxes, mystery box. What are they? Mystery boxes, mommy
Mystery
boxes,
box,
mystery boxes.
mystery
Yeah,
boxes. Yeah,
yeah.
because
Okay.
that's the lazy way of writing.
Well,
Yes, yes. The never-ending search for something, and there's no payoff whatsoever.
I guess, yeah.
Marcher says, "I guess I'm not American. Thanks a lot, Chester Bugsby."
Well, hey, if you don't like musicals, you get kicked out of the club. It's kind of in the contract, brother. It just is what it is. But no, Americans are I don't know, the modern musical is really, we did that. That's our responsibility. It really is, dude. We have to take full responsibility and acceptance of the fact that musicals exist, I think. It's our fault. But,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What are you saying? Maybe the Matrix 4 is going to be a musical?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, George. That's
Yeah,
exact. Didn't you read the
they're gonna
article?
be dancing.
Didn't you
Yeah,
read
they're
it?
gonna be
Yeah,
dancing. They're gonna
yeah,
be dancing in the coding.
yeah.
So instead of flying bullets, it's going to be jazz hands?
That's right. Jazz hands
Yes,
everywhere. That's exactly right. Yeah.
flying jazz hands.
Blind Jenny. You heard it here first, folks. Honest and true reporting. But the funny thing is, I actually have seen the theater play, Cats. I mean, forever ago. My goodness, that was a long time ago. I saw that. How long has that damn thing been running? But
Since the 80s.
Yeah, dude, I saw it a long time ago, and it was
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah.
play. It had some great music in it. It was pretty good. I mean, if you like theater, if you don't, then you wouldn't like it. But I thought it was
Mhm.
pretty good. But damn, that thing's creepy. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I don't know. Does the chat have anything to say? Are they like, yay, The Flash, yay, Matrix 4 or something, Denali?
They said Cats is the furry, the motion picture.
Well,
Yes.
there you go. Maybe that's who that's for. Maybe,
Uh,
maybe.
Bu- uh, Bu- Booster says he loves musicals.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, but
Totally boring.
he has giant posters of Ezra Miller covering the wall in his room like paper wallpaper, dude. I mean, of course he likes musicals. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like
Dr.
it's that's
Zayas on The Simpsons was legitimate theater. Yes, Nick, you're right. It was.
it.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas. All right, moving on here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what's going on? The Wall Street
Oh,
Journal has something to say, and their webpage is horrible. Look, you touch anywhere, bad things happen. What's going on, Wall Street Journal?
oh no.
All right, go ahead.
Disney is accused of snow job over Frozen 2 tweet apology.
Is that a
Basically,
blowjob joke? Did I miss something?
I think so. But basically, Chinese or not Chinese, a Japanese artist influencer on Twitter basically spilled the bean that they were paid to hype up Frozen 2, which kind of gives another confirmation. Yes, when we call these guys who are shilling hard for these Disney product, most likely it's because not always, but most likely they've been paid by Disney to be influencers and pay to manipulate their followers into going to buy products,
Yeah, I mean,
such as Disney in this case.
just be
Hey, you
honest
know what?
about
You
it.
know
I
what?
mean, they pay advertising all the time. Just be honest about it. It's not a big deal.
You know what? I got something to say about this article.
Okay.
Booster, there's no way you're gonna be knocking at my door. The only person who's knocking at my door is going to be a pizza delivery boy.
Well, Booster does have that. It's a part-time job, so he might be bringing you pizza.
That's true. And he also has that sexy tight Naruto outfit. It's all shiny and rubbery. It's nice.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, my only comment on this is yeah, just be honest about it. It's okay to pay for advertising. You just have to acknowledge that you did so, right? I do know that over here in Japan, Frozen was a huge hit, and the second one will be huger, I'm sure. Right?
Mhm.
Now, to be fair, most Japanese preferred the movie Tangled over the original Frozen. I think it did a lot better here. But the second movie is everyone is saying is much better. So I mean, good on them. We know that Frozen and who's the Ice Queen in this? Is that her? What's her name? Anna?
No, Esla.
That's
No,
Elsa, and the little one is Anna.
Elsa.
So they switched it
Yeah.
from the book. Oh, okay. But anyway, we know that she's a strong, independent woman. Don't need no man. But that's what the princesses will be from now on. You understand this, right? But beyond that, the kids are loving it. So I have no problem with it. But just be honest. Just be honest, right? And it's weird because we see a lot of these Twitch guys, and of course, it used to be YouTube, but now it's all Twitch and streaming and running games, and they stay up right up front. They're getting paid to advertise for this by this company, and then they're showing the game and doing a run through. They're straight up front with it. Yes, I'm being paid. Here's the run through. Let me show you. I like it. What do you think? Take a look. So just be honest about it, right? I mean, what's the big deal? I don't get why it's all this subterfuge and this trying to obfuscate the stuff. I don't get it, right?
I mean, I think it's because they're influencer, and if people realize you're actually doing paid promotion,
Hmm.
then the effectiveness of that advertisement it's lessens basically. So if they think you actually genuinely like it, and you might very genuinely like it, people start having doubt when they know, oh, you got paid to say this.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
but if you're upfront with it, I think it's actually more honest. Because they're saying, hey, I'm getting paid to do this, but here's my honest opinion. You guys know me, you've been watching me for a while. This is what I really think. This is what you see those guys say all the time, right? And I think it's actually
Mhm.
more honest and more effective when you're just straight up with it, trying to hide this and stuff. And we know it goes on all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, most all the media is controlled by the DNC. And are they paying for that, or is it just simply some kind of blind loyalty? I doubt it. There must be money involved, right?
What's
But
your thought?
You know something interesting about Frozen? Booster,
no.
you couldn't deliver a frozen pizza if your life depended on it.
So is Booster throwing shade at George? Is that what's going on in the chat? All right. Well,
What's your thought, Pixel?
oh, Pixel jumped in. Hey, Pixel, what's up, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch the lead up to this, so I don't know.
Oh,
But
So
I do agree that Booster isn't a pizza boy.
that's
yeah.
true. Yeah. Go ahead, Dinale.
I was going to say the lead up was your thoughts about influencer being honest outright instead of being obfuscated that they actually got paid to shield.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's been plenty of situations where stuff has come out that people were shilling, like the diet drinks and various other things in the past couple of years, and
Hmm.
stuff like this where you have artists doing artwork and stuff promoting the movie. It's shady. I mean, anymore now, people are used to it anyway. Like you go to YouTube, it's like, hey, this video is paid for by so and so.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really easy just to say, hey, they gave me complete creative freedom. This is what I did.
Yeah, we see it
I don't.
all the time,
Yeah.
dude. Constantly. They're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this is being sponsored by this. Here's my opinion." We see it all the time, dude. So why
Yeah.
why are you trying to hide it? It's weird, especially for the Japanese. I mean, they in general liked Frozen. I mean, they didn't. It wasn't the strongest movie, but in general they liked it. And the second one is going over absolute gangbusters over here. They love this second movie, dude. I haven't seen it because I don't have kids in the house. So there's no reason for me to
Yeah.
watch it. But good on them for making a better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least they're making a freaking animated movie instead of all this damn live action crap.
Yeah. Quote live action, because
Well,
the
that's
Lion
fair.
King was
That's
not
fair.
live action at all.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
how do you now that's a good question I have. How do you take one of the most successful Disney movies of all time, remake it exactly? I mean, step for step remake, right? It's nothing original. It's exactly the animated movie put in live action, and it suck. How does that happen? I
Because
don't.
it was too realistic and it lost all the charms of the original.
Oh well.
Yeah, you take it's that whole uncanny valley thing, right? You take
Uh,
a creature that's supposed to look real and make it do unreal things. It looks fake. It's off-putting. It's jarring. You can't do the same type of emotions and emotes and the movements that a cartoon character can give you, and so it
yeah,
just looks
that's true.
looks a little more rigid.
That's true. The thing I did see the first Frozen because my kids are still in the house, and we watched it, and overall we thought it was, it's all right. Yeah, because my family much preferred the Tangled movie that was out just before that. But the one thing I thought was kind of interesting, I guess it's Disney. I should have expected it, but of course, if any of you have ever read the Ice Queen, she's evil. They changed it up in the movie. Yeah, she's
Yeah, they
redeemed.
do. They do that to all the anything that becomes Disney-fied. They change it. Like Ariel really gets killed because she never gets her voice. She never marries the prince.
True, true.
Uh, Beauty and the Beast. He does change back into human, which depending which story you go for. Um, Snow White, she dies actually, and the dwarves weren't very nice to her. They kind of did awful things to her if you read the original story.
Well, sure. Well,
Uh,
they did touch on that a little bit. When they first met
mhm,
her, they were very wary in the movie. But yeah, you're right. Of course, this is true. The funny thing for me is that here, from all the leaks, were just absolutely, they're actually like a frickin' Sith over there at the Star Wars
mhm.
movie. We're finding out that in the end, they're redeeming Ben Solo. And it's like, no, he's unredeemable. What are you doing, you morons? You can't have him stab his father to appease some dude who now we're finding out was some kind of golem like or construct created by Palpatine for his blessing. You can't do that. He's irredeemable. But yet that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So idiots. Anyway, next story. Oh my God.
Uh,
No, hold on. Before
yeah.
before you announce this
Hmm.
this thing here, before you get into this, I have a quick
Hmm.
question for everybody in the panel and everybody in the chat. Who here wants to argue with me that she doesn't look like a transgender? She looks like a transgender. And did we've mentioned this several times. Did they do this on purpose? Did they really hire a girl who looks like a boy intentionally? Do you think they really did that,
I
or is it
I think
simply her
so.
papa knows the
Who,
right people?
who is that?
No.
That's Daisy Ridley. Ray.
Get out of here. Seriously?
Yeah.
And you know what? If she looked like that in the movie, she may have had a chance because people would have said, okay, you know what? All this poor acting, it's not really poor acting. It's because she's evil.
Maybe.
She looks evil.
Yeah. It doesn't mean nothing here or there, but I'm just like, oof. Talk to your people. This is not a good look for you, baby doll. But anyway, go ahead, dude.
All right. So, Star Wars producer, it should be really director, J.J. Abrams comments about The Last Jedi causes meltdown.
Yeah, well, that's an old story. What's he talking about that now for?
Right. So basically, he's criticizing The Last Jedi diplomatically, and all the shills and fans of The Last Jedi are saying you're throwing Ryan Johnson and that movie under the bus and validating all the trolls and stuff. And the other side is saying yeah, we don't really believe you. You're just trying to pander to us to get us to the seat. So both sides kind of
Yeah.
don't
Well,
like
it's
him.
weird.
Yeah,
We know he doesn't like the film. He's already
yeah,
commented on it. Does
yeah.
he? What kind of short memory does he think we have? I don't understand.
Apparently very short because he's talking a lot and he hopes that he hopes that we forget that we, you know, actually heard him say he doesn't like the movie
Yeah, and he
amidst of
actually
all.
knocked on several points of it, and he was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But now this is nonsense. They're doing the blame
yeah,
game again because you got all the
yeah.
cast has come out and said negative things about it, and they're just trying to save face. And instead of just sucking it up and owning it, they have to blame the fans. It's just the thing that's been going on
So
the past couple of years.
right.
So,
So
am I to understand? J.J. Abrams has openly said he loved the Last Jedi.
yes,
Okay, that is true because before the movie even got produced, he said he read the script and he loved it, and he was very sad that he wasn't directing it. And
correct.
also
That is
and
true.
also Booster, you couldn't bang any drums with two sticks.
What is this battle going on in the chat? What's happening over there? Because I can't see it. We're from where I am.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a kind of a non-story. Uh,
But Nick does pose a question: which will make more money, Frozen 2 or Episode 9? My bet's on Frozen 2.
Frozen two.
Probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Anybody want to make a bet?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't seen it, but just listening to the kids in my classes, who has seen both, they say it's way better. They really are enjoying it. So I imagine it's going to make good money and awesome, cool. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
all for Disney doing animated princess movies. I mean, that's their thing, man. Right? I mean, come on.
Mhm.
Next, ooh, this one now. This one's interesting story. Go ahead.
Right. So this is from Newsarama. Diamond rolled out extra fortified shipping boxes for retail orders. So basically, this is supposed to add more protections and
Hmm.
more volume for comics, like 200 per 200 comic books for each box, and kind of address all the retailers' complaints about every time they ship off these boxes, there's always some damages
Yeah, yeah.
happening in the shipment.
No, this is a great news actually. And Pixel, you're
Mhm.
still here, right?
Yeah, still here.
Oh, cool. So, Pixel, I got a question for you, because of course you do Indicron, and you've been, involved with a lot of these projects that have been coming out. How many situations have we had? Like, what was that something solo book that came out from the world class
Jeff.
bullshitters guy?
Yeah.
What's it called? Something solo.
Stealing
This,
solo.
Stealing
yeah.
solo. Now that's an absolute debacle, and I feel bad for him. But
Yeah.
with other Indicron projects, how many times have we seen this kind of, in relation to this article, damage, that kind of stuff?
Uh, Not too many, really. I mean, obviously, stealing solo, I think, is the worst example, or maybe the best example, depending on how you look at it. But the that one was just a complete screw up from somebody's side. Nobody seems to be wanting to take the blame on it. The printer hasn't really taken the loss either. They're just not saying anything. But I don't want to speculate. But that was a complete screw up.
Oh yeah,
That's the worst possible situation there. Uh, you know, Zach's book, the first book that he put out and shipped, that had like the sandpaper roughness and the mailer that wound up messing up the cover a little bit, and
hmm
he replaced those. There have been a few other books. I think was it Mike had some shipping issues. No, it wasn't Mike. It was actually Ben. Ben had some shipping
yeah.
issues.
Ben Henderson
Where,
had some, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
where books were getting folded and bent. The metal stuff
yeah,
was all jacked up.
yeah,
I've talked to a couple smaller guys. I'm not going to call anybody out by name in particular, just because it was a small campaign. But they had mailed some stuff in just basically like a poly bag kind of thing, like you would get in a magazine.
sure.
And my book had been folded. But it was such a small campaign. The guy, he wanted to make it right. I told him, don't worry about it. It's fine. But so just take care of it next time in the next campaign. But
Mm.
little things like that, they're taking care of stuff. But for the most part, no, everybody's kind of learned. And gosh, I mean, from the very beginning, Nasser was the one that said, "Hey, go out and get the Gemini mailer. It's really smart." That was, this was the first book really from all of these guys to go out, and people are still using the Gemini mailers or some version of that.
They work though, right?
So yeah, they work very well, very
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. The funny thing for me though, Pixel, is when my kids were little, of course they were reading Japanese manga, but I wanted them to have some Western influence. So Marvel used to have this thing where you could just order it and they ship it to you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
mail
over
order.
the course of, I don't know, a decade, I have got a couple of hundred comic books coming into the house, right? And all of them came in this little the cheap plastic vacuum packed plastic thing, right? The
Mhm.
cheapest thing you can see. And there's no board on it. It's just this plastic cover and the comic is just floppy. It's just as it is. And I did not once get a single book that was bent or damaged. Not once in a decade of time. So how can Marvel ship out stuff in the cheapest way possible, and I have no problem with it? I don't understand why we're having problem with these troubles with these other books, because like I said, I have a decade of experience with no trouble.
I think it has to do with a couple things. Number one, the volume of mail that's going through right now, the size of mailboxes and such. A lot of people they get enough mail going through their mailbox, they have to fold the mail to stick it through the box or whatever. Like in my house, I've got a little box. Thankfully, um, the big mailers and stuff won't fit, and so they actually bring it around to the side of my house or whatever. But uh, like if you go to like an apartment complex, you have those little tiny boxes where all your mail gets shoved in that could barely fit a letter, so they fold your magazines in half. So if you're getting a
Oh,
comic shipped there, you're probably going to see something similar to that if it's not in a box.
that's fair.
International, I you're lucky going international. I mean, stuff gets beat up, but I think there might have been more respect for mail and more respect for the job back then. Uh, Maybe Japan takes better credit or better care of their books and mail and stuff too. So there's more respect for the end user. They don't want any damage happening to their letters and things. I
Yeah.
really couldn't say for sure,
And
but
to and to be
yeah,
fair, I don't know that those mailers were coming from America or were coming from some spot in Japan, meaning they sent crates over and then they were just dispersed to people who wanted it in Japan. We do have a lot of military bases here, so
yeah, that
I
makes
don't
sense.
know.
It would
Yeah,
actually make a whole lot of sense if they were distributing from somewhere there, so they would do a
yeah.
bulk mail.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's the case. But of course, another thing that I didn't take that into account because we get our mail hand delivered here. If it's not
mm,
to me, because I work in the afternoon evenings is mainly when I spend my work hours. So it's either in my hand or it's in my mother-in-law's hands. They literally hand it to you. We don't really
yeah.
put it in a box here, so. Yeah, maybe that's part of it. But yeah, no, I think this is cool though. Good on Diamond for making a move they should have done a long time ago. And I know people love knocking on Diamond. I get it, and they are guilty of many things. I get it, but Diamond is important. We need Diamond. And I know a lot of people will want to argue and yell and scream at me, and I'm sure that's what's happening in the chat right now. But they are necessary, dude. And we want them to be better, and we want them to be more successful. Because the more successful Diamond is, the better comics in America are. Because we know we're falling way behind Europe and Asia when it comes to comic books. We're getting our butts kicked over here in North America, guys. Right?
I think we need better fulfillment agencies or more of them in particular.
Well, that would be helpful. Yeah.
I think Diamond has kind of got well, obviously they got a little lazy and they
Yeah.
were having to make up for it now. But if they had a little more competition, put in a little fire to their feet, they'd probably do better and they'd be able to lower their prices. And these
Yeah.
creators would actually have more incentive to use distribution like them
Yeah.
because it wouldn't cost them an arm and a leg.
I agree 100% with that. I 100% with that. But seeing as we don't have that, we really want to keep our fingers crossed for Diamond to do the right thing, you know. But I agree with that. I hope we do see some actual competitors. And the sad thing for me, Pixel and or everybody in here, early on in this whole indie revival, there was a lot of talk about people getting in and competing against Diamond, and nothing happened. It didn't transpire, and I think a lot of it has to do with all the infighting and all the silliness that's gone over the past couple of years has absolutely just taken the fire out of everything, and people just ended up didn't biting that bullet. Right? Maybe I'm over exaggerating the situation. I don't know, but I feel that there's something to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, money makes things a little awkward too. It's
Yeah.
if you're fronting a bunch of money, if your book makes 10,000 sales and the next guy's book is making like 200 sales, who the money, even though you're all are trying to go in and promote it and do different stuff, I'm sure certain people feel like they want to have more control than other people, and that situation just gets a little weird. I would love to see that happen. I know Tim Lim has his iconic line that he's doing with his books. He's working with a distribution company. It's BCCC.
Hmm.
I don't recall if that's the company that he's setting up for distribution or if it's just somebody he's partnering with. I did a quick video about that a couple days ago, showing how it was packaged and everything, and he did a fantastic job. The book came perfect, no problems with it at all. And in fact, what I'm going to start doing is reviewing the packaging of books when they come in for the ones that I
Yeah,
get.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. And yeah, no, Tim Lim, I like Tim Lim. He's a great guy. He's a very smart fella too. So if he's behind that kind of thing, good on him, dude. And
yeah.
you know what we should do? I haven't spoken to him in a little while. We should get him on if that's the fact. We should get him on to talk about it actually. But anyway, let's move on. We do have limited time here, so oof.
Yeah,
This is coming from Somali, Dinale, but go
right.
ahead.
Barry Winsler Smith's Monster coming in 2020.
Okay. Now, this is a comic book related, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. It's from Somali.
Mm,
I don't know anything about this book at all, but I do recognize the name of Barry Windsor Smith, however. Can anybody here who has any knowledge of Mr. Smith or Mr. Windsor Smith would like to give us any insight into this if you could? Nobody.
mm.
All righty.
I didn't know this was coming. I love Windsor Smith's work from the pieces I've seen over the years.
Hmm.
What's funny is as an artist growing up, like as a kid, I'd see BWS for the whole black with stars in the background and stuff. And I used to think that was like, why is Barry Windsor Smith's initials all over this document or all over this piece of art? I didn't realize at the time, at least, that stood for Black with Stars. But
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
Oh,
See.
okay. I no, I draw. He's with Conan. He worked with Rob Thomas on the Conan the Barbarian series.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
Back
not. I
back
know
when
that. I'm talking about this project here.
yeah. This one in
the
particular, I
monster.
didn't know anything about.
Yeah. Well, let me
Mm,
just kind of run through what it says here, I guess. Munster is a 250 plus page story about two disparate American families fatefully connected by an abandoned Nazi project in genetic engineering that has been covertly revived by the United States government. Okay. So, wow. I've seen that story 1,000 times. But it doesn't mean it won't be interesting. And it looks like it's more kind of drawn down to a smaller area, just dealing with two families. I don't know. Nazi programs of genetic engineering. Boy, they love that subject, don't they? They just love Nazi genetic engineering programs. And here's the thing: we don't have any evidence that the Nazis actually did anything like that. I guess they maybe it was kind of the early inception of that kind of thing, but it was mainly more from a eugenics point of view. It wasn't from a genetic point of view. But people love that science, that fantasy aspect of the Nazis, the genetic manipulation, super soldiers and stuff. Oh well, it is. It is what it is, I
well,
guess.
I mean, it's a whole Aryan race, and Nazis are shorthand for evil, so it's like a safe topic to touch.
Yeah, I
Everybody
guess.
will.
I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
interesting how it keeps coming up and up. But Barry Windsor Smith, of course, is well respected, and it's an absolute monster book. I mean, ha 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 ha, pun intended. A 250-page graphic novel. Damn, dude. Damn, right? And if you're looking at the art here, it's interesting. It's very stylistic, man. What this is really reminiscing me something from the 18th century, actually. Oh damn it, I can't remember. There was an artist that did fairy tales in the 18th century. I think it was connected to, or maybe I think it was the 18th century. Yeah, maybe connected to Grimm fairy tales. I can't remember, but it looked a lot like this. Oh, it's on the tip of my
It,
tongue too.
it probably is the Grimm's fairy tale that you're thinking of if it's 18th century, like the Dickens and all that
That was 19th.
publications.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, cool, dude. Awesome.
Mhm.
When it comes out, maybe we can get a hold of it and get a read through it and see if it's interesting. But that's a big boy endeavor he's going after with that. So awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hold on a second here. I got someone at the door. Just go ahead without me. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. This is from Bleeding Cool. Firepower. Robert Kurtzman, Chris Sumney launches a new Iron Fist comic at Image in May. So basically, it's their version of Iron Fist, about an American character. The main character is an American named Owen Johnson who traveled to a mystical temple in Asia and learns a secret Asian power, becoming a chosen one who will save the world. So, that's interesting. I thought this was supposed to be diversity. What are your thoughts, George? George? Oh, he's doing.
No,
He's doing
I
George.
heard it all. It just I'm very confused.
Very confused. What's the confusion?
Wow,
Well,
I
I
think
thought-
this sounds great. Iron Fist.
I thought these guys were professionals. Why are they picking such a lousy character and a lousy story premise? And why is Booster here?
Huh?
Yeah,
Because there was too
I
much
just
silence
don't
for a
think
while,
we're-
and it sounded brutal. So I thought I'd come in and save the day.
Yeah, aren't you
Okay.
supposed to be out delivering pizza right now?
Oh, that was all a lie.
That would
I just
actually
wanted to look tough.
that would actually make Booster actually work, and you know how work
Oh,
averse he is.
I don't want to work. That's why I didn't come in today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you're in.
look.
So I'm going to my happy place right now.
Where's your happy place? Where is it? He's muted.
He's
It's
about
not
you?
here.
not here. Pixel, what's your thoughts about this new Robert Kurtzman, basically Iron Fist inspired comic book that he's going to be releasing in May of next year?
Well, so Iron Fist is actually kind of like an Iron Man thing,
Mhm.
I think, or something like that. Well, it's weird because okay, so I'm looking up the character Firepower.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm completely confused because I see the guy with the glowing hand here called Firepower, but then I see another character named Firepower who's actually like a robot. What the hell? I guess I'm getting them. Okay, so Firepower is a Marvel Comics Iron Man kind of ripoff, and
Yeah.
this Firepower. So is Iron Fist actually like a whatever you call it, like an open source character or something? Is that?
No, he's Marvel, and he was with Randy, Danny Rand, who who gained mystical powers from a Asian inspired city and became the next immortal Iron Fist. And he's the living weapon, and he can do cheese. He was during the whole kung fu exploitation back in the 70s. And I'm surprised that Robert Kurtzman and Chris Seni is doing the same story with fire powers in this age of diversity and cultural appropriation and all that stuff.
So
I saw the
what's
piece of
happening
art.
here?
It looks like
What's
he's doing a
happening with this
Hadouken. Holy crap! Hold on, let me pull up my screen here. You have to see this. Well, let me.
What's happening with this comic, Denali? It's a Marvel book going to Image, yeah? It's Danny Rand?
No. It's basically Robert Kurtzman's doing a ripoff Iron Fist for Image.
I see. Oh, Firepower. I see. All right.
Yeah. I don't think they can
He's doing
change
a
that.
Hadouken.
we
Okay,
can't-
I understand now.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like he's doing a Hadouken.
Kamehameha wave.
Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah, you guys can't see Pixel's screen at the moment, but yeah, it looks like a Hadouken or something. So what is it that seems like a Iron Fist ripoff?
Yeah.
Basically, he's shooting fire from his fists, and more Iron Fists can kind of do the same thing with
So
chi.
just more hard-hitting journalism from Bleeding Cool, I see.
Yeah.
Finding
Oh,
Fire
man.
involves a journey from his hometown in St. Louis to a Shaolin temple in China, the lost art of throwing fireballs. The idea.
Oh, yoga fire, street fire, fight. Do.
Hey, fuck her. But okay, but that's quite a bit of talent we got here. Though Robert Kirkman is writer Chris Samney. I'm sure they'll put out a good comic with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised not a lot of people are in ARVs calling cultural appropriation on this. That's my surprise.
I think when it gets closer, a few people might, but then again,
Yeah.
if this had been a comics gate or like an independent book, it would
Yeah.
have been buried, completely
Mhm.
buried. But because it's Kirkman, I think
Yeah.
they might get like nods for this or something. I think people might actually give him some credit, but we'll see. I am curious how much they're going to get. God, I can't believe they're doing that though.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean-
doing it. They're going all the way.
People
I
love a
feel-
classic fish out of water story, right?
Yeah.
But
I
they
mean-
call it cultural appropriation.
Absolutely, and that's the double standards of we're getting. It's like, so this guy can do it, but this guy can't do it. I mean, what's the difference? They're both white.
I mean, if it was a it was like a black guy writing about a black guy that went to a Shaolin temple, I'd actually read that. It actually sounds great. I gotta find me a black guy to write this.
Isn't that basically the Wu-Tang Clan?
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. That was kind of important though.
All
But
right,
Sure.
now that Chester's back, I can leave again. I'll be
No.
back in the audience.
You gotta stay. We got 9 minutes left, so it's just
Sure.
Oh, may as well then.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
too bad too. I want to talk a little bit about the Iron Fist thing, but whatever. That's all right. Let's move on to the last and final story. And before Denali goes ahead and lays it out, I will just take one moment for myself and go. Okay, go ahead, Denali.
Oh, cool.
All right. Shazam 2 dated for 2022. No April's Fools. Oh boy. I think I'm looking forward more to the Black Adam than I am for Shazam.
I'm looking forward to this very much because Shazam was a very fun movie, and I'm looking forward to Shazam 2. I'm sure it'll be just as good.
Lies.
Oh, not lies,
Yeah.
just a subjective opinion.
I liked it.
I liked the first half of it. Yeah, first half was great.
Yeah, I mean, there was some odd stuff towards the end, but I mean, come on, it was for what it was. It's more of like a kid's superhero movie anyway. I mean,
Right.
take a look at it. I mean, it was the answer to the dark and gritty Avengers kind of stuff, and it works. The camp worked, I felt, and it ended pretty well.
Well, see, the end didn't have the camp though. See, that's the problem. And actually, I had a long conversation with R.T. Bear on one of his shows, and because he drew, Captain Marvel, right? And he was going on about because he saw the movie and he kind of agreed with me on the end of that movie, and
Oh,
particularly
you found
this.
the one other person that agrees with you. That's great.
Well, one of the creators of the comic book, their opinion might have value, Booster. But he was
the
very.
creator. I didn't realize Archie Bear is from the 40s.
I said one of the creators of the comic, right? Because they're taking this off a specific comic book with the 7 deadly sins, and he was very disappointed in how they represented them. Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yes, you should apologize. But
I'm taking the piss.
I know, dude.
You're still a dickhead.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I just thought I loved the first part of that movie. It was so much fun. I love the dude who plays Chuck. He when he was he played a grown up kid so well. I mean, it was really really fun the first part of that movie, and then they absolutely screwed the pooch at the end of the movie because they were too desperate to get to the end. Right? They didn't need the Marvel family at that point. You should have done that second or third movie. You didn't need any of that. That's where they screwed up by bringing in the Marvel family. That's where they screwed up. It was too quick. You're trying too quick to get there. Just slow down, slow your roll. Give him some minor actual villain to deal with toward the end of the movie, where he comes into his own finally, and it would have been great movie. But they screwed it up because they were in too much of a rush. That's what happened with that flick, dude.
Okay, I'll give that to you. I will say the family could have been saved for a sequel, and that would have been a good way to improve the story somewhat to be able to expand it.
Yeah,
make it fresh. Yeah,
because you had no time to really develop it. The characters are very thin. I mean, it's unfortunate because I have no problem with the Marvel family they've created. I understand they got to have one of every color. I get it. So they had to do it with the whole orphan thing. I get it. I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with that. And I actually like some of the characters they brought in for the Marvel family actually. But they just it was radically rushed, dude. Those enemies and the bad guy. It was just stupid. It was just dumb. It wasn't dealt with. The whole thing with Shazam, the actual wizard, was a joke from the very first moment he's on the screen. It didn't work. That guy didn't. I don't know who that actor was, but he didn't pull it off at all. It was comedy, and that's not a problem because it's a comedic movie. But when you're trying to be serious in a comedic movie and yet it's comedic, ooh, you screwed up. You screwed up bad, and that's my problem with Shazam. Really. So anyway, anybody have anything else to say about Yay Shazam 2? Yay, yay.
It's a fun movie. I liked it.
Okay.
I'll see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's enough for that then, I guess.
Yeah.
But let me come over here now. Pixel, you jumped in here for a reason, I am sure. So have at it, sir.
Oh no, I was just popping in because I had time and I heard Art Tiber come up, and I just wanted to pop in and just say, some of the stuff that came up about Art in that Bleeding Cool article was complete garbage. I mean, Art's such a nice dude.
Yeah.
It's terrible to see them tear him down like that. And I actually hope that DC gets involved and says something, or even considers calling him on his words, or calling
Is
Johnson.
it true that Ryan Johnson said something along the lines of that Artie Beer was in some kind of op with DC to poach talent from Marvel?
So yeah, Rich Johnston says
Yeah.
that he had sources that said that DC was paying him to poach talent for DC Comics.
He suddenly has these sources, huh?
Yeah, he
got those sources real quick.
And then he turned around and he tried to say that Art, after sitting on this story for 20 years and having it eat at him for years and years, that he finally broke down and told the story just because he wanted to get help on his crowdfunding campaign. He was claiming that. It's complete garbage. I've talked to Art plenty of times, and I've hung out with him after conventions and such, and so he's kind of told me that story, but he's never let it all out. And I think there's very few people that really knew that story, and I think it just finally was weighing on him, and he started talking about it, and it came out. But yeah, that hit piece just pissed me off.
He finally has an audience to do it with as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But now, the thing it is, Rich Johnson is a tool by definition. Yeah. And the thing is, we have a lot of famous people as far as comic book famous. I get it. But for us, they're famous people that we have come in, and we've been very fortunate here to talk to, not only here, but IndieCom TV and, of course, Pixel even more so. We've got to talk to a lot of these people. And we've had some big names come over and join us as well. But here's the thing. There's only a couple of these people that have come over, even though many of them think they're living legends, obviously, in their own minds. It's quite clear. There's only been a couple that have come over that are actual legends, and RT Bear is one of them, right?
Yep.
That is an actual living legend, comic book legend, right in front of you, right? And it's just amazing to me how little respect this supposed young generation of comic book people have for the history of comic books, right? I actually heard, who was it the other day? Someone was going on about Doug Wildey, I think his name was, one of the greatest artists in comic book history. I mean, just an amazing guy going on about how he detected. It's like, how long has that guy been dead? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Decades. Yeah.
Let's tarnish the
Doug
image of
Wildly, I think his name was. But it's just tarnishes of these young people, or supposed young people. They just have no respect for anything these days, dude.
No.
Oh, whatever.
And you know what? I agree with you. I mean, I work with Windsor McKay personally, and I don't advertise it.
I have no idea what that means, George. And nothing. All right. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us in here today. A perfectly timed show. How rare is that? But we do appreciate you guys, of course. You know that. We're always happy to come over here and have you guys come over here and be part of what we're doing. And all of your comments and interactions, we appreciate it, of course. And do keep in mind that in 1 hour from now, we are doing the Ultimate Edition. Pixel, tell them what's happening with that, man.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to have a couple new artists, which is going to be fun. But we're doing Tales from the Classroom with Rob Muerto. And basically kind of like a monster high school kind of story. It's got some comedy aspects to it. A lot of opportunity to go with a bunch of different styles with it. I think it's going to be a fun show. It's a little obscure. I don't know how many people know that it's out there, but it's funded. It's doing well. And we just want to show them a little bit of support. So that's...
it's really great. For me and Chester, it's Friday the 13th.
It is. It is Friday the 13th.
How about that, eh?
That's right. That's right. But no, we covered. We did a full interview with them here at Pixel. We've covered this in depth. So we're looking forward to seeing it because it's not only is it a very beautiful looking project. It's really nice art. But the guys behind it got passion. They have a very succinct understanding of what they want to do and what they're producing. It's very nice to see such a well-rounded project. So I'm looking forward to it. And of course, we announced the very first thing on the show today, Pixel, that they are fully funded. So rock on. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
It is fantastic. Yes, claps, 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 claps. All right, guys. But that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Pixel. Thank you, George. Thank you, Booster, for being here for 5 minutes. We do
Oh, good,
appreciate it
yeah.
there. Thank you very much. And we'll see you in an hour. So, Denali, take us out of here, man.
All right. And if you want to hear RT Bear's response to the Bleeding Cool article, he's live streaming right now at his channel, RT Bear. So check it out if you want to follow up to see what his response to Rich Johnson is. Join us less than an hour for the Ultimate Edition Drawn and Quarter. Come back Saturday, and we'll be doing FanSpeak at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out the Immortal Mass newsletter at dinalescomics@gmail.com. And as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Oh, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, indeed. All right, guys. Later.
Aloha.